Mr. H here. So good to see you again. And today we're going to talk all about music and Earth Day. Now, I know Earth Day was last week, but the way schedules kind of worked out, we kind of missed it, but we're going to talk about it right now. So we're going to begin with a Earth Day body percussion rhythm play along based on the song called the Garden Song. So if we look to the left, we see our rhythms. We're going to have quarter notes, eighth notes, half notes, and quarter rests. Now for the movements, we will be clapping our hands, patting our feet, our legs, patting our shoulders, or rubbing our hands together. That's the one with the hands and the arrows. So we're going to do that with the rhythms. Now we'll hear the song in the background and we'll see the rhythm and the movement at the same time. So let's try that now. Get yourself ready to go. 2, 1, here we go. Pat, clap, pat, pat, clap.
Gonna make
clap,
this garden
pat, pat, clap.
All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch
Shoulder.
by inch, row by row.
Shoulder.
Someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain
Shoulder. Put our hands together
down.
like this. Oop, we got a new one.
Pulling weeds, picking stones. We are made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, for the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music of the land.
Rub our hands together.
Inch by
Ready?
inch, row by
Go.
row. Inch by inch, row by row. Gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row. Someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down.
Another one. Here we go. Start with our shoulder.
Your rows straight and long, seasoned with a prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. There's an old crow watching hungrily from his perch on yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as that feathered thief up there.
Rub our hands together.
Inch by inch,
Right, here we go. Clap,
inch by
clap,
inch, row
clap,
by row.
clap, clap,
Gonna
clap,
make this
clap,
garden
clap.
grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row. Someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain come tumbling down.
And
one more time.
here we go. One more time.
Inch by inch, row by row. Gonna make this garden grow.
Clap our hands.
All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row. Someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling
And slowing down. Inch over, hands like this. All right. So that was the garden song. And it's important on Earth Day because, well, without the earth, we wouldn't have any gardens to grow. And, well, that'd be kind of sad. Do you guys have any gardens at home or any plants that you grow? I know I don't really have a garden, but I do have some plants that I keep in my apartment. You can't really see them here. They're in different rooms. But I do have a couple different plants that I take care of myself. And they're really nice to have around. So we're going to move on and we're going to talk about Earth Day. Now, Earth Day is an educational holiday that happens every April 22nd. So this already happened last week, sorry to say, but we did have it. Every Earth Day, we spend time learning about our planet, what problems it has, and how to fix them. Things like recycling, protecting endangered species, and fighting climate change. It's a very important holiday that makes us really think about the earth that we're on. It makes us think about what we need to do to take care of it. Sometimes it could be just as easy as making sure we pick up our trash or something really kind of different than that. But that's what we always really try to think about during Earth Day, which is all good. But what does Earth Day have to do with music? Well, we just kind of heard an Earth Day song, the song talking about, well, the garden. And there are a lot of other songs all about protecting the earth or about the forest and the trees and other things like that. So it may sound silly, but Earth Day is very important to music. Obviously, if we didn't have a planet to live on, we wouldn't have anywhere to perform at all, really. I mean, we have to be on Earth to play our music. And if we didn't have a healthy Earth, we wouldn't be able to make or enjoy our instruments or be inspired to make music based on what we see on Earth. There's a lot of music that is always based on, maybe some of the plants and animals that we see, or just some of the really cool things that we see from there. So, can you think of some music that maybe wouldn't be done if we didn't have the Earth? I can think of maybe a couple. When we sing in America the Beautiful, oh beautiful for spacious skies, oh amber waves of grain, they're talking about the sky and the grain. We just had the garden song that's talking about gardens. There's plenty of other music out there that is based on nature and the earth. So I want us to pretend for a second. I want us to think about the question, what music does the earth make? I mean, it's kind of a silly question, isn't it? Well, let's pretend for a second. Let's say that one day we get visited by aliens from outer space. And these aliens only speak through musical sound. They don't really have words. They only speak through music. And they want to know what the earth is all about. How would you tell them through music about the earth? What is the earth's music? I mean, obviously we have our own music with our instruments, but what sounds does the earth make? I know I think of the wind blowing through grass, thunderstorms, birds chirping, the different sounds that different animals make on a farm. That's all kind of music too. But let's take it a step further. What would the music sound like for a beach? If we wanted to tell the aliens about a beach, what kind of sounds do you hear on a beach? Maybe you hear the ocean. Those of you who've been in my class a long time ago, you'll remember that ocean drum that I had. So we had an instrument that made a sound like the waves of the ocean. What about the wind on the beach that helped make the waves? Maybe just people, having fun on the beach, kind of laughing and playing. All right, what about a forest? What kind of sounds does a forest make? We have the wind going through the trees, maybe some of the different animals there. Maybe the forest has a river, we can hear the water going through the river. What about a city? City's got a lot of different sounds. Cars driving by, people walking by, businesses doing their thing. That's all music too. What about a desert? It's kind of silly to think there's not a lot in a desert, but what sounds would a desert make? And what about the ocean, just the ocean itself? Not a beach, the whole ocean. Okay, well, what if we wanted to go away from making sounds and we wanted to make music? We wanted to use the strings that we learned about when we were learning about the orchestra, or the brass, or the woodwinds, or the percussion. And we wanted to combine the orchestra together, and we wanted to say, we are going to make music about the earth, and we wanted to make music about the beach. How would that sound? Would it be happy? Would it be sad? Would it be loud? Would it be quiet? What instruments would play? Would it be different for a forest? Would it be different for a city, a desert, and oceans? These are the things I want you to think about. And I know this lesson's going to end a little bit earlier, but that's okay, because I want you to stop and think, if I had to make music for the earth using the instruments of the orchestra, so the violin, the viola, the cello, the string bass, the flute, the clarinet, the oboe, the bassoon, the saxophone, the trumpet, the trombone, the tuba, the French horn, and all the percussion instruments, we put them all together and they said, we need to make music about the earth. How would you make that music? What instruments would you use? How would you make them play? Would they be loud, soft, fast, slow, happy, sad, scary, weird? That's what I want you to figure out. So when you do your form today, there's actually going to be a smaller portion of the form where you can just, where I'll put the question, what would the music of Earth sound like? What instruments would you use? And I would ask you to write a little bit of it, just write your own. So that's all the time we have for today. Really think about this question before we move on, and I'll see you next time.